We have speed, stealth, durability, firepower, and of course, let's not forget about the execution ability. Pretty much everything we need in a good beacon runner. This is the setup, so let's go check out the pilot skills first. And here we have Levi. I find his unique pilot skill to be extremely useful in certain situations. However, if you don't have Levi or you prefer Sadicat, as long as it fits your playstyle, that's perfectly fine. Also, if you are a free-to-play player and most likely struggle with resources, purple pilot skills will do. Just try to get the specific pilot skills in order to make this setup work. As for the drone and weapons, nothing too fancy here. We have the punchers and Armadillo. I believe most of the players will have this in their hangars, and if not, at least it won't cost a kidney to get them. For the modules, we have one nuclear amplifier, two repair amplifiers, and shield breaker. Of course, you do not necessarily have to use shield breaker. You could probably go with phase shift, advanced repair unit, or whatever active module might fit your playstyle. Now that we have everything covered, we can go check out some gameplay and see this setup in action. Okay, so we dropped in Dead City. Great map, probably one of the best maps to showcase this setup. We have plenty of cover where we can make use of our speed and stealth. We just got our first beacon there, and I'm gonna display on the screen as well all the beacons and kills. There we have it, just so we can keep track of our defense points bonus. And in the meantime, we have our first opponent. We have a mean Ochokochi sprinting right past us. Not so mean after the update, to be honest. Most of you guys know what happened to this robot, and we're actually gonna push this guy where we can make use of our speed to get in cover. And keep in mind, we also have a small hitbox on this robot, and that's gonna help us avoid some damage. Then we can activate our ability, execute this guy, and get the job done. Like I said guys, Ochokochis are not that big of a threat anymore. We can capture our beacon back, get those extra defense points, and we can move on to our next target. We have another Ochokochi, and my intention was to help my teammate, but we actually did get the kill. We were like 350 meters away from the target, and what I'm trying to say is that punchers are actually brawling weapons. Their optimal performance would be up to 250 meters range. However, I do have a feeling that these weapons have received a silent buff, because recently they perform really well, even past that 250 meters optimal range, especially if we can get to charge our nuclear amplifier. So yeah, I would say this is by far one of the best options for Lynx. We have lockdown, we have decent range, we have nice damage, and on top of that they are also affordable weapons. Now going back to the actual gameplay, we are in the enemy spawn and we have a few robots to deal with. We're gonna start with what's left of this Capri. There we go, triple kill. We've also had a Mars behind us for all this time, so we're gonna deal with him as well. And I could have activated my shield breaker here, but as you guys can see, Mars is not that difficult to take down. We got the rampage, and I was also trying to kill that Seraph for some extra defense points, but we couldn't get it, so we're just gonna move on to our next target. We have a Curie with Subduers, way tougher opponent than what we had so far, and we're gonna use this building for cover, just so we can close the distance and get in that optimal range where we can actually deal some serious damage. Activating the ability here, and I also activated Shield Breaker even though it wasn't really necessary, and again making use of cover and the mothership in this case. And since we have Lifesaver on, that will also help us to eventually take this guy down. Now, I wouldn't say this was one of those tough unkillable Curies, most likely not even a maxed one. However, we did everything by the book there. We got the kill, we got the beacon, and that's all that matters. We have some Titans showing up now. We're gonna lock down and avoid this Luchador, and we're gonna leave him behind and move towards the center. Now, honestly, I thought I was gonna be able to capture this beacon, but to my surprise, we have another Luchador. So again, we're gonna lock this guy down and move on to another beacon. Remember guys, you don't always have to fight everything. Sometimes you have to play smart, where the better option would be to leave your opponent behind and reposition in order to survive longer. So we are safe now, we captured the beacon as well, and that's when I spotted this mutant with machine guns. And like I said just a few moments ago, normally I would avoid this guy and reposition, or most likely I would get rid of this robot and drop my Titan. But we are showcasing the Lynx, and we also have plenty of defense points stacked, pretty much the perfect scenario, so we're gonna go ahead and fight this Newton. In the meantime, we got our nuclear amplifier fully charged, that's definitely gonna help, and here I'm making use of the ability to avoid the incoming damage. Also, I'm trying to get in cover, but we are eventually being lifted, where we can see all these defense points at work. We barely took any damage, and we are back on the ground, ready to push him again. Unfortunately, we got suppressed by his passive ability and we couldn't deal much damage there. And we also have a small inconvenience in the meantime. We have a Skyros that has chosen death for some reason. We took him out and now we can go back to our Newton friend, who at this point I'm quite sure he's not that happy to see us again. And I'm not even gonna lie, most likely I would be extremely annoyed as well. We are constantly in and out of cover, and even when we are being lifted, it's not like he's actually doing too much damage. And at this point I'm sure he's wondering how the hell is this guy still alive, right? Anyway, I thought I was gonna be able to execute him here. Probably he had one or even two repair amplifiers. However, after almost 2 minutes, our endeavor will come to an end, where we can finally take down a fully maxed Newton. Like I said guys, this is such a great setup, make sure you give it a try, and for any question or feedback, comment down below and I'll answer to all of you. With that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you liked it, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.